very rough night. Got some dirty weather up there. Sun is just coming up, which is nice. It's quite an ugly sea running. Oh, we just hit 14 knots. That's a 230 metre long cargo ship heading for Melbourne. We're going so fast we're producing rooster tails. And it's been a really interesting experience. Well, now I'm approaching nearly 24 hours since we left Cape Howe sunrise. It's been a very rough night, really difficult, very lumpy, confused and crazy seas, multiple swell directions, wind waves. It's been a real challenge sailing for sure. But we're about 40 miles from Cape Howe now, so we're closing in on the Victorian New South Wales border. Maybe in another 5 hours we'll be there, 5 or 6 hours, and then for the final run up the coast to Eden. But yeah, quite a challenging night of sailing. Got some dirty weather up there ahead of us at the moment. It'll be interesting to see what's inside that. A few squalls around. We've been struggling to hold our course all night because of the direction of the wind, been pushed in towards Point Hicks instead of Cape Howe. But in the last hour we had a very fortuitous 20-degree shift in the wind to the west, which has now enabled us to turn towards Cape Howe, and with a bit of luck we'll be able to hold this course until we get there. Well, it's still pretty wild and woolly. The sun is just coming up, which is nice. We've got a few squalls around. Still got that big one in front of us, which hopefully we might miss, but we've got another one coming up behind. We've got a reef in the main and about 2/3 of the Jenica, and we're cruising between 8 and 11 knots. We've got swell coming from 2 different directions, which is why it's so lumpy and uncomfortable. Plus the wind waves, and now we've got a bit of drizzle, so well, it is what it is. The one good thing is we're going quick, and that's definitely a bonus. We've got dolphins around us as well, but I'm not going anywhere near the front of the boat to film them. That's for sure. It's quite an ugly sea running, and some pretty ugly weather coming our way. Still plenty of albatrosses as well, which is... oh, there goes some more dolphins. Ooh, right past the boat. Here comes one now, surfing along the waves. That's pretty specky. There's some pretty decent swells still coming through. And yeah, it'll be good when we get around the corner. No, we just hit 14 knots. So we're screaming along on a sleigh ride heading towards Cape Howe, and we're in the shipping lanes, so had to do a bit of radio work. Over here is Little Rain Head, which is in Croajingolong National Park, and we're headed up this black line there, and down here you can see this, that's us there, and just here you can see this symbol. That's a 230 metre long cargo ship heading for Melbourne, and we had to call him up about half an hour ago to make sure he was watching out for us and could see us. As a sailing vessel we have right of way, but of course there's a bit of a difference between 14 metres and 230, so we always like to call them if they're going to come close to make sure that they've seen us. So this is called driven from the AIS, the Automatic Identification System. So the beauty of it is, if I click on this guy here, on that symbol, brings up his name. Northern Dexterity is the ship. If I click on the ship, then it brings up this screen here. This screen tells me that it's a cargo ship, 231 metres long, a 32 metre beam. Tells me his bearing, his distance, 3.8 nautical miles away from us, and the bottom two figures on here are the two most important ones. The closest point of approach in nautical miles is 3.5, so that tells us he's not going to run us down. He's going to pass as no closer than 3.5 miles, and below that is the time to the closest point of approach, so we know that in 4 minutes that he'll be at that closest point. And we've got a visual on him now, so that's all looking good. It also tells us more information, so we know he's under engine, which says under engine there, which means he has to give way to us. The status is safe, it means we're not on imminent point of collision, and gives us his speed over the ground and the course over the ground, and his destination down here, which is Melbourne. Well, that's the Victorian coastline over there. Still about an hour and a half to Cape Howe. It'll be nice to get to New South Wales because the weather looks better, maybe, but we've got 30 knots of wind now, have had for a while, and seriously ugly sea. It's a real sleigh ride. The boat's being thrown around all over the place, but we're going so fast we're producing rooster tails. It's pretty tiring. Just the constant bucking. 19 days after leaving Hobart, we have finally arrived at Twofold Bay in Eden. Here is the crew, looking very happy. Woohoo! Happy crew. Not that many people sail across Bass Strait, and even fewer are silly enough to do it in winter. But we did, and it's been a really interesting experience. At times absolutely sublime, and at other times fairly challenging. But I'm sure we'll look back on the last 19 days as something that we'll remember for a long time into the future. And for the first time in 4 weeks, it's 4 weeks since I left home, I'm not freezing to death, and I've got my beanie off. Hey. All I need now is a good wash and some food and a very good sleep. Last night I only had about 4 hours sleep due to our watch keeping methods. So yeah, that's pretty much the order of the day. Okay Bill, now that we've arrived you need to say something erudite.
Well, eruditely would be limited to sailing. Choose your crew well, which I did, and if you're going to sail north from Tasmania, don't do it when the westerly season, because it's hard work. Plan a lot and get a good boat.